Students, in this video we are going to study about the limits and its properties. It's actually the review of the limits chapter. So you will find here random questions about the limits. So as you know that we are going to cover the standards of limit 1 and limit 2, in which we are going to reason with definitions, theorems and the properties just to justify the limits and the continuity. Our success criteria is to evaluate the limits of rational and polynomial functions and also the trigonometric functions using the properties of limits. Also, we will determine the rate of change of velocity applying the appropriate strategies to calculate the limits through real-life application. We will determine the continuity of piecewise function and absolute functions at a point and continuity on an open interval. We will also determine the values of the x where the function is continuous or discontinuous. We are going to describe the horizontal and the vertical asymptotes by identifying them, and will compare their rates of change, and we will also determine the velocity of the skydiver by calculating one-sided limits analytically. Now the question is, what do you remember about the methods to evaluate the limits? We all know that there are three main methods to evaluate the limits. Number one is numerically. Number two is graphically. And number three is analytically. Numerically means that we will make the tables to determine the limits. Graphically means we will sketch the graph to find the limits. Analytically means that we will use the algebraic equations to solve or to evaluate the limits. Facts through which you can conclude that the limit exists. We all know that the limit exists if and only if the limit x approaches to a from the left hand side of a function is equals to the limit of a function f of x when x approaches to right hand side. Only in this case we can say that the limit exists. When does the limit fail to exist? Of course, the limit fails to exist when this condition doesn't fulfill. Which condition? Means the limit from the left hand side of a function is not equals to the limit of a function from the right hand side. Now, the limit will fail to exist. It means it has three different kinds of discontinuities. Number one, jump discontinuity. Number two, infinite discontinuity or unbounded behavior. And the third one is the oscillating behavior. Now, where can we apply the idea of limits in real life? Of course, we can apply everywhere the idea of limits in real life, like in physics, chemistry, bio, etc, etc, etc. But most particularly we can say that wherever we are, if we have the finding the rate of change of anything, for example the temperature at a particular time, here we can apply the limit. Even to find out the velocity of the moving car at the rate of at particular rate of time, then we can say that we can apply the idea of the limits. Now here we have two different problems in which we have to evaluate the limits by using the appropriate strategies, and also we have to use the appropriate method to solve them, and we have to say why we are applying this method. Now, for example, the question is, for a long distance phone call, a hotel charges $9.99 for the first time and then the $0.79 for each additional minute. And this formula the formula to calculate the cost is given as C equals to 9.99 plus 0.790. Now what you have to do, you have to, where t is the time, and you have to calculate the cost when the time reaches to 3.5 minutes. So simple. We have to calculate the limit when when the time or the x, you can write t, approaches to 3.5 of c equals to, we can say also limit t approaches to 3.5, what is the equation of the cost? It is 9.99 plus 0.790. Now, this is the polynomial equation in which has a domain of all real numbers. So wherever you have t, just replace the value 3.5, and that's it. You will get the answer. You will get the cost of the phone call at 3.5 minutes, and just calculate the answer by using the calculator, and that's all. Now in question number 2, it is said that the velocity of a moving car can be calculated by the function where x is the time in minutes. If there is a possibility to find an obstacle after 4 minutes, then evaluate the velocity of the car by moving the limit when time approaches to 4 minutes. Name the discontinuity. So let's solve first of all the question by using the 4 minutes, so that it will become so easy. And after it, I will tell you that if seconds is written everywhere, what you have to do. So the velocity function, or v of x, here make it v of x, velocity function is given as x square minus 3x minus 4 over x minus 4, where x is the time, and you have to calculate the velocity at the given time. So you will have limit x approaches to, the time is saying to be as 4 minutes, v of x, equals to limit x approaches to 4 of this function of the velocity. Now this is the rational function, and we know the rule that we cannot apply the limit until or unless it is solved. So here you can see in the numerator, this is the quadratic function. So whenever there is a quadratic function and there is a possibility to cancel some of the factors, what you have to do, you have to factor the equation. So the quadratic functions, yani x square minus 3x minus 4, can be factored as x minus 4 and x plus 1. Why we are doing this one? We are doing this one to cancel from the numerator x minus 4. Because by putting the 4 in the denominator, we will get the indeterminate form. So here limit x approaches to 4, x plus 1, and just replace the x by 4. So 4 plus 1 equals to 5. So the velocity is 5 minutes, 5 meters per minute. Now after that one, if the time is given in the 4 seconds, and you have to ask, they are asking you to calculate the time in minutes. So what you have to do, convert the 4 seconds into minutes. How you will convert it? By dividing the seconds into 60. In 1 minute you have 60 seconds, right? So in 4 seconds you have how many minutes? Of course you will calculate, and you will get 4 over 60 minutes. So you can convert the velocity into minutes by dividing it with the 60. Now what are the facts that lead you to the conclusion that the function is continuous and discontinuous? Of course, when you have the limit x approaches to a from the left hand side of a function equals to the limit of a function f of x when x approaches to a point from the right hand side, they are equal, we can say that the limit exists. And if the limit exists, not only this one condition says that the function is continuous, the limit x approaches to a from the both sides should be equals to the f of x. So these are the conditions which lead you to the fact that the function is continuous at every point.